And you took it, didn't you, Adam?
Yep.
So between the two of us, we should know what's happening.
Yeah, so what did happen on the first part of episode 3, Fish and Murder?
So we arrived in the
Uh-huh.
small fishing town called Skegness.
Agnes? Yeah.
Yes. And we had an altercation with Tamara Fate, who is a tiny woman wearing a hat, which we spent a lot of time discussing.
Mm-hmm.
She's a mean witch hunter. She's with a tall man who's got axes and a stout man with a recurve bow. Who we didn't talk to because they all seemed quite rude. We said maybe we'd look into this whole witch thing because she said there was a witch who murdered a person. They murdered old Dario, who was frozen in a solid block of ice. Nobody missed him because he was a jerk. His apprentice, Mathis Blue, ran away on the same day. He's an orphan that was apprenticing under old Dario, but there was no love lost on account of old Dario being a piece of work. And they also, one of the people in the market pointed some fingers at Crone Henrik. Well, they pointed us in her direction. They said she's nice, she knows some magic, and she sells herbs outside of town. They described her as harmless. That's what I wrote down. Also, we spent time getting supplies to go fishing, because Agnes has not been sailing on a boat.
That's right. Fishing pole.
I forgot about the fishing.
That's right. Fishing.
No subplot of moving
The only tidbit I have different is that we were either staying or we encountered the woman in the White Wagon Inn.
Yes, I did not write down the name of the inn, but I think we have rooms there.
I do believe, yes you did.
Yeah.
We fancy now.
Yep, you secured some rooms. Some rooms.
The rooms.
There's just like that little bit of Peter Sellers that will like stick with you like forever if you watch any of his movies. So
I don't think that's happened to me, but
what, have you watched any of the Pink Panther movies?
yes.
Okay. You know, asking for a room. I don't know. For some reason, it stuck with me forever. That the very, very stupid, you know, basically Shaggy Dog story about the, you know, I thought you said your dog isn't that bad. That is not my dog.
Julian.
Look, I don't know. Like the first Pink Panther movie is awful. It's terrible. It's not funny. It wasn't trying to be for some reason. It was like they have a Peter Sellers character in it, who is a comic relief character in his own movie, but he's like not really the main character of it. It's weird and doesn't make any sense, and it's dumb. It's just a jewel thief movie, and it's stupid. But the sequels are actually pretty funny. At least to a very young Ian, they were funny. But they're kind of stupid. Anyway.
the stupid kind of funny.
Yeah, it was very much the stupid kind of funny. So.
So remind me, who was old Crone Heinrich?
She is an old lady who picks herbs out in the woods and she sells them in town.
Because I wrote down her name, I just didn't remember who she was.
Yes, she sells herbs, which is probably why you wrote her down.
Oh, I wrote Jessamine Trap down.
Yes, that is the head of the Circle of Light, or Coven of Light, who is, very high up in the wizardry circles. So no, there's a little cabin. It's not exactly in the greatest of repair. It is small-ish. There is a sort of overgrown sort of spot right under the sort of front window, which is like just full of weeds. It may have once been a flower bed. It is no longer.
Wait, just checking. Which cabin are we outside? Are we outside the victim's house? Like
The victim, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should walk around the back. Do we know? Was he killed at his house?
Yes.
Okay. It is echoing. Well, let's. I'm gonna walk around the back and see if there's anything strange or.
Sure. You head out around the back. There are no doors to the back.
Windows?
There is one window. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same story from the front. If you go to sort of peek in through the window, you can see into what looks like a bedroom. Sort of follows what you might assume. Sort of not well kept. You can see various bottles just lying on the floor, things like that. Hey, puppy.
Up nose. Can I attempt to use like tracking to see if there's anything, any like obvious trail or not super obvious trail of somebody like kind of, running away from the cabin? Are there
I mean,
woods around?
you could attempt to. No, not really. The tree line is a little bit away. It's sort of on the edge of town, but it's not really in the woods or anything like that. You're pretty close to the lake.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna see if there's any tracks, like people tracks back there.
Okay.
175.
That's pretty good. You don't see anything of interest really as far as out back. Do you check any other areas while you're at it?
Yeah, I want to just kind of like check the back, check the sides.
Okay. Well, you're sort of checking around the property generally, and you notice there's like a little boat launch, sort of down by the lake shore. And investigating down there, you do find one or two prints that look like they're fairly recent. Walking, like on the way to the boat.
Okay. Is there a boat there now?
There is. There is a small rowboat tied to the little jet thing. Get very nervous talking about what you call it, like nautical terms, because those are the ones you get called out on the most. You start using wrong words for boats, everybody gets mad.
Yeah.
That's boats.
Boats, yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately for you, none of us are boat people, so
It's true. It's not like we're
Well,
theoretically
not.
distributing this anywhere. There were people who know boats.
is our single listener into boats?
We might find out if they start yelling at us.
We'll find out. Yeah.
We should ask him what his triggers are.
Correct boat terminology in the comments. No.
Just like badly dub over yourself after you get corrected.
Yeah.
That would require me to do any editing whatsoever.
I mean, that's fair, but it would be worth it.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be fun.
So yes,
Gonna check out.
you can.
All right.
You go down to the boat and you check it out. There are 2 oars. It is a fairly old boat. But there's no like holes in it, so that's good.
Oh no!
It seems serviceable.
All right. So we should pause because Kristen can't hear us.
Oh, crud. That explains things.
Kristen's done the reverse of fixing her mic. She tried to fix her mic and
Ruined
Oh,
everything.
maybe she set her headphones to come out her mic by accident.
That is,
Yes,
that
it is possible.
yeah.
They're both audio devices.
That's ridiculous.
I've done it that way before, where like you actually like you go to your microphone, you put your ear to it, and you can actually hear
Ooh, weird.
it coming out. Because it's essentially the same thing, right? You're just sending a signal one way or the other, and
Yeah.
it sort of works. Where you can have a mic acting as a speaker. It's not good because it's very, very quiet. It's not built to do it, but it can technically do it. So
I'm be done.
I wonder if that's what happened with the spirit computer.
Oh, was the mic crazy?
No, the audio for the stupid training videos was like ridiculously quiet. You had to like put your ear on the computer to hear it.
I mean,
Not that you really need audio for those stupid training videos anyway.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
oh, we can.
Yeah.
do you hear
Yeah.
us?
Can
I
you
heard
hear us? Let's nobody talk, so she'll not be able to tell whether you can hear us. just sit here in silence. It's the only thing to do.
That's the best option, actually. Yeah.
Yes, if we sit here in silence, then
It'll just fix itself.
it's like if a Zoom call is permanent, does not speak, are they muted or not?
Schrodinger's mute.
Yeah. I don't feel like there's something that would be similar to if a tree falls in the forest and it's there to
Shame.
Oh, is that what the shame carrots mean?
Mm-hmm.
shame carrots. What are we shame carroting?
We're shame carroting us.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we totally were. If you show up after Adam, you get shame carrots.
As long as
Sure
you're
how I feel about being the benchmark for that.
Well, at least you can't actually fail it. So
that's
That's
true.
true.
Best way to think about it.
If you're as often 45 minutes late as you are, then you become the benchmark. That's how it happens.
not much you can do about that.
No.
The constant
I just
is Adam coming this week? We don't know.
Yeah.
That's usually the sentence said like 20 minutes after. Just like, is that coming? I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
The weird part is now every time I'm like shrugging, I'm always imagining that I'm holding 2 orbs. I don't know
You
why this is.
Pizzas.
Or I guess it could be pizzas, I suppose.
This is a really weird pizza, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I feel like this is extremely cartoonish. Like
Yeah.
this exaggerated shrug.
well, because
You guys-
if you, we hear you, yes.
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 Yes,
Can
we
you
do.
hear us? And
Can you? No.
Hello.
I thought you were laughing at my joke. Crud.
no. She's just shaking her head.
Yeah.
Is that an actual suggestion?
What did you say to turn it off and turn it back on again?
Yeah.
I mean, Oh, Memorial Day. Memorial Day. Robin comes back. Andy has stolen her chair, and she goes, "Hey, move! I'm disabled." And I go, I'm like, what kind of disabled? And she's like, spinal fusion. And I was like, oh, I thought you were doing an IT crowd thing. I didn't think you were actually.
No. I was pretending I'm normal.
We all do that, but you know.
Yeah.
This is higher.
I was still expecting leg disabled. I don't know. Like.
I love the IT. It's like such a funny show.
It's a great show.
Good show.
So good.
Watching it.
Have you? You have? Oh my goodness. Not fair.
Sometimes I watch TV when I eat lunch, but sometimes I need a short.
Oh, I think Kristen's throwing shade at us.
What?
What?
She says, I clicked enhanced audio and it muted all of you. So
How does that?
rude is all
Her
I'm
audio
saying.
has been enhanced. She can no longer hear us.
It's enhanced. You don't want to hear that.
It's like there's nothing worth listening to here.
Congratulations.
Oh man.
Whatever you do, don't enhance the experience.
Can you guys hear me?
We hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
All right.
We are,
Progress.
Whatever you do, don't enhance
I
the.
will not do it again.
All right. Where did you lose us, Kristen?
Good question.
I didn't hear anything.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, your mouth moved. I didn't hear anything.
No, we can't. Maybe.
You can hear us?
There. Keep going.
Can you hear me or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Okay.
What?
I heard Andy was looking for a boat or found a boat.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're right there.
Yeah. Missed pretty much nothing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, then here we are again.
Adventures in technology.
It's been that kind of day.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my Wednesday has just rolled straight into today. So, like, Wednesday I woke up and I went downstairs to get clothes out of the dryer. And I bashed my knee into a piece of plywood. That's a great way to start your day.
Yeah.
Headache from too little sleep, and then bashing your knee, and then just like you get to work and the cutting machines are down. You got to cut everything out by hand, and
Is
just like
Yeah.
thing into thing into thing into thing into thing into thing. So, paying for that day off, I guess. I don't know.
First you suffer, then you take vacation.
Well, no, I got the vacation, and then everything after was terrible.
No, I thought you meant next Friday.
No. It was
You
the
take more
Memorial Day.
vacation.
Yeah.
what's next Friday?
It's June 10th. That's the day that the mom and dad are taking the kids.
Oh,
I get that day off because that is my ride. So,
yes.
I get to take a vacation day that day. All right. Anyway, so a boat has been found.
We find a boat.
Speakers have been fixed, and yeah, you find a boat.
Kristen's going to do this mostly by miming, but
Like hold up like signs for whatever.
yeah, just you're Wile E. Coyote now. Just hold up the sign. Exclamation.
I remember I remember a Magic event where this set Unhinged had come out, and it was a humor set, and one guy had a card called, I believe it was Goblin Mime, and if you spoke, you had to sacrifice it. And so to keep it in play, one of the people had like grabbed a sheet, like a stack of papers, and took a marker and wrote out common magic phrases on all of them, and then would hold up the pieces of paper to play his turn out. It was a weird set in that it was supposed to be funny, and we actually spent less time laughing playing that than playing normal Magic. Like, we were all dead quiet because if you like half the cards, if you said something happened. Like, I had an opponent who was on the phone with his like mom, and he's like, "Yeah, you can come pick me up around 10." And I went, "Gotcha, you said a number." I grabbed a card back out of my graveyard. And it was like so much of that stuff. It was like, "No!" So like suddenly like nobody could speak. It was the worst. They acknowledged that later. They were like, "This was a terrible mechanic. We're sorry."
We thought it would be funny for other people, but then nobody can.
And it turned out to not be funny at all. Yeah.
It'd be the best troll deck.
Power of like 1.5, stuff like that, just to screw with people, and it was just like, no, this was not fun. I think the only good part of that set was the ass cycle. So you had dumbass, fat ass, badass, smart ass.
I feel like you're going to need to explain that statement.
They're donkeys. They're different color. They're different color donkeys.
Donkey card. Oh.
The green was fat ass. It ate things, and then the black one was badass. And blah, blah, blah.
So we found a boat.
All right,
We found a boat.
Take a look in the boat.
You take a look in the boat. There are 2 oars. And a bucket.
New
2
or
oars and a
old
bucket.
the rope look? Does it look very old like everything else?
The rope looks worn. Do you have any? What is a skill that would apply to? I guess any of your vocations would work for this. A half skill vocation.
Oh, I
Unless
have
you have
reason more, like,
sailor. Does anyone have sailor?
You have what, Kristen?
Would my
Which one was that?
reason because
What's your reason?
Oh,
reason. Oh, you guys really can't.
it's like cutting out like a lot now.
It's like you can hear the first 3 words and then it fades.
It's
which
like
is-
always like right when the important one's coming. Maybe. I'm not sure if turning down voice attenuation would help. Voice attenuation. That's so the higher that is, the louder a noise has to be in order to turn your mic on. So it's possible if you turn it down, it'll keep the mic open better.
Is your sensitivity on automatic, or do you have it set at a level?
Is this better?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
It was down to 0.
Huh.
So that explains that, I guess.
Hopefully. Okay,
Is it
so
like-
I heard that entire sentence, so
Yep.
it wasn't improvement.
Okay.
Improvement.
So you were asking if we could use your reason?
Region lore.
Region lore.
region lore.
Region lore.
Not
Oh, 'cause you're from the sea town.
Yes.
okay. Sure. Yeah. Let's go with that.
It's something.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Well,
Hmm.
where is it? Oh.
Probably not.
80.
Um,
71.
with the 80, we'll say that yeah, you're not sure exactly, but you're pretty sure this is not a normal um the normal the right kind of knot that one would use for this. It looks a little amateur.
Did anyone look in the bucket?
Not yet.
Can I look in the bucket?
You look in the bucket. There's what looks to be some bait.
Oh. Now we don't have to pay for bait. I hand the bucket.
It was like one of those funny little things with you know these sorts of things rather than like television shows or whatever. It's like there's a bucket. Oh no, it's a mysterious thing. We must look inside of it. Oh, it's literally exactly what you might think. That was anticlimactic.
So this is his boat, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe.
Reasonable.
I must confess, it looks like a boat to me. And that's all.
And he fish for a living?
Yes, and he had an apprentice, so I suppose he was good enough to teach someone.
The boat's kind of small for, making a living off of it.
That's true. This is more of a casual kind of fishing boat.
What do you know about boats? You spent your entire life in the woods. You know nothing about fishing.
I know a lot about boats.
What? What do you know about boats?
This is a
What do you know
boat.
about boats?
This is a boat. It's a small one. Doesn't it look like a small boat?
That
Wouldn't you have a
means
bigger
nothing.
boat? If
I don't know. I know a lot about smithing. I don't know a lot about fishing.
well,
I would never
you-
claim to
you
know
put
that this is not a boat that you can make money off of.
Of course, you can't make money off of this boat. Look at it.
If this is his boat and that's what he did for a living, then he must have made enough money to live on.
I don't think
Is
so.
Brennan suggesting that you sell the boat?
Sell the boat? What?
Wait, what?
Was that what Brennan was suggesting?
Oh,
No. She was she said she didn't know anything about boats and was confused
I
as
said you don't
as,
know anything
as to
about
why,
boats.
this boat wouldn't work well for a person trying to make a living. You said you
Probably difficult.
she said
It
she
seems pretty small.
she knows about blacksmithing.
Well, Grizel, you grew up around boats, right?
I mean, I do agree with Levi. It seems a little on the small side if that was, his living. Maybe, are we sure it's his, or maybe he has a casual boat that he uses for other affairs?
Okay.
What does she know about boats?
That doesn't look like the house of somebody who just has a casual boat.
Brenwan wants to know what you know about boats.
Oh, I don't really know anything, but I lived near people who did, and usually, I mean, I guess you could fish in this boat, but I mean, I guess I would just assumed if he was doing it for a long time, wouldn't you want the space to put all the fish and the bait? But I really don't know that much.
I agree with you.
Well, at least she lived near people who had boats.
I have a question.
Yes.
How old do I think those tracks are, the footprints?
Fairly recent.
Like, few hours, handful of hours?
It may have been a day or more.
Okay.
I'm sure if we ask around town, someone would know if he had a larger boat than this one.
That's true.
What body of water is this? Is
It's a lake.
Okay.
Oh, well, then it would make sense if it was a smaller boat in the lake, right?
Well, it depends how big the lake is.
Sure.
What kind of lake are we talking
Oh my
about here?
gosh. It's a lake-sized lake. I don't know, man.
It's an appropriate size.
It's a large enough lake that there are people who can make at least somewhat of a living catching and selling fish on a regular basis.
Okay.
Are there other little docks with other little boats?
There's a main one sort of not too far from this one. The one where you guys talked to that guy in like the sweater or whatever, who sold you the fishing rods.
Perhaps
Did he rent you a boat?
he did agree to rent us a boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Perhaps I'm ignorant on the topic, but what does it matter if this is his boat or not? The man has passed away. Are we expecting someone to have frozen him into a block of ice in order to steal his larger, proper fishing boat? Is that what we're thinking?
My thought process is there's a missing apprentice, and if there's a missing boat that the apprentice was on.
Mm.
But it's a fully contained lake, right? It's not like there's not like a river attached to it.
There is a river that feeds into the lake, I would assume. I don't know. Now geologists are gonna get on me.
Or does it feed into the ocean?
Well,
It's a lake, okay.
So
I want geography here.
Oh my gosh.
Questions. This isn't where plot is. We should...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is.
if it were relevant, Ian would know.
It's true. That is always a good thing to keep in mind when you're a player in a role-playing game. If your GM doesn't know the answer, guess what? You're barking up the wrong tree.
That's a bad way to role play, but
We
maybe.
maybe bark up the wrong tree, but we are gonna hunt this tree
No,
down.
That's the problem. It's not. You have to find the tree first. Ugh.
It's like that one Cthulhu game that I had to literally stop you guys and say, okay, listen, not where the plot is. Go somewhere else.
Stop asking questions about this irrelevant detail, please.
Why so much I humor you about this?
Try the irrelevant detail back into the plot. It's like, oh, if you went to this guy instead, maybe they'll help you.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
So, do you think you could follow these footprints to? Don't know.
There is also the reason you came to the place in the first place.
We could go in the house.
You could actually observe the scene of the crime.
We
have to keep sitting around it until we finally run out of things to
fixate
do.
on this boat. Let's explore
Uh-huh.
the cabin before we wander off searching down the larger boat.
Okay.
Do you want me to go check it out first?
Sure. Brenwan's gonna pop in, make sure there's no bad guys gonna jump out around the corner.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you, Brenwyn.
You're welcome. All right, so
Uh-huh.
what's inside?
So, Brenman goes inside.
Quick glance. I'm not going to spend a ton of time in here
Are
alone.
you just literally poking your head through the wall and looking around?
I'm going to
Okay.
quickly look in each room and then come back out.
All right. You. Do I have an actual description of this? You would think that I did.
Turns out The cabin is also irrelevant.
Here we are. So, you take a look inside. There are 3 rooms. There is a living area, a bedroom, and what amounts to a storage room with a bed in it.
Okay.
Yeah, your main area sort of has like a rocking chair and hearth. The bedroom previously described, sort of litter, clothes strewn on the floor, bed unmade. In the other small room, there is a smallish bed with some neat little sort of areas sort of kept. Is there anything?
All right.
Yeah. Nope. Yep.
Okay, so nothing surprising or disturbing.
Nope. Nothing too surprising,
Okay.
at least upon first glance.
All right.
So.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's in there. Simple cabin, 3 rooms.
All right. So I open the door.
You open the door. It is unlocked.
All right.
Stepping inside, it is as previously described. Near one side of the room, toward where the hearth is, there is evidence of water damage on the floor. No bodies. One assumes that they moved it.
Need blood or anything?
No. Just water damage.
Is that the only place where there's water damage? If I look around, are there...
It's the only place there's water damage that doesn't have corresponding water damage on the ceiling. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
There may be a few leaks in the roof, but this one doesn't seem to have come from a roof.
And I'm sorry, where is the water damage?
On the floor near the hearth.
Near the hearth, okay.
So if I look, is there any evidence of magic in the house left over?
Alright, so you are using some sort of detection?
At least power perception.
Power perception?
Yeah.
Give it a go. Let's see how perceptive you are.
Ooh. 30%. That's where on earth is power perception? Dark.
Under delving.
Under delving, I'm going wrong.
Yes, delving.
178.
That's pretty good. There is very faint, well, I guess really this world doesn't really have necessarily evocation, but quick spells like what had been described don't leave a lot of residue, but it certainly seems like there was some magic worked here probably about a week ago that was very poorly crafted. Speaking of likely inexperience, and there are some sort of some eddies sort of left here and there throughout the air. Lot of power seeping through, a lot of just all over the place.
I believe we're dealing with an amateur. Is very inefficient spellcasting left over here. If you do it properly, you don't get all these energies wafting about, usually.
So someone maybe a little less experienced then?
Or somebody who severely neglected their studies. But given that they've broken one of the rules, one would suppose that they've certainly done that. Perhaps we might find a spell book somewhere where they might have learned this. Let's go. I'll go look in one of the bedrooms and see if I can find some sort of.
Okay. Which bedroom first?
The neat one.
You walk into the neat one. It is small. Likely this was the young apprentice's room. You search through what little belongings are here, and you don't find any books or papers at all. Mostly just a few clothes.
Any bags of any sort, or
you do find a bag, and in the bag are basically it's a set of jacks.
I wonder how old he was. I don't believe I asked. How big is the bag? Is it like a backpack, or there's just a little bag?
It's just a small bag.
Okay. I'm not quite sure if he was literate, to be honest. But he left his toy behind. I guess I'll look in the messy bedroom.
You look in the messy, sort of master bedroom. Well, there's a fair amount of ick, but you pick through it. And
what kind of ick? Is it just grimy?
normal general bachelor ick.
Okay.
I say bachelor, but you don't find any writing of any kind.
Okay.
But what you do find, tucked away in one of the drawers, is a drawing of a man and a woman.
Or you said a man in the womb?
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
It's a much more sensible thing.
Yes, I was like, that's a very intricate drawing. Okay.
And weird, like deeply strange, like DeviantArt in the Middle Ages.
Oh, no.
No.
That's why I had to clarify.
No, we're not going there.
What are they wearing? Like, does it look like it might be old Dario? Like, is it a fisherman? Or
it could be. They're sort of drawn in a sort of fairly flattering way. It could have been, Dario.
Is it a childish drawing, or is it like a
no?
actual,
It's probably someone self-taught, but it's like a proper sketch. Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps could take this into town and ask people who it's a depiction of.
That makes sense to me.
Are we? I guess
Seems reasonable.
It'd be a jealousy murder.
A
In
What?
love with the same woman.
We know nothing about this Dario. I mean,
True.
So, well,
is there anything else just like looking around that might pop out to us?
Yeah, what other rooms were there?
Just those three. Just the sort of main living area, which is mostly consists of a hearth and a rocking chair.
In the hearth, is there anything like in the hearth other than like ashes?
Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's pretty much just the remains of a fire and an old cook pot.
Okay. There's not still food in the cook pot, is there?
No,
Okay, just checking.
no, that would be gross.
Yeah.
You did say there was ick in the bedroom, so
Sure, but the people who moved the body decided they would just go ahead and chuck what was left in the pot.
dump it out in the lake.
Yeah.
When was
As
the
you
body
do.
found again? Like how recently?
With about a week ago,
Oh,
a little bit
okay.
less than a week. So
Very glad they didn't leave dinner in.
Mhm.
yeah,
Well,
unlike the Haunting,
unlike the
very very famous Call of Cthulhu game where they leave dinner in a pot and it's nasty.
roll sanity.
It's that
Roll
gross.
sanity. Rice went rotten. Anyway,
So
So, do we know in what room he was killed? Like, did they tell us?
Right by the hearth.
it's
That's
right by the
that's-
hearth. That's
That's
where
why
the
there's water
damage is.
damage because he was frozen.
I'm glad some of you put that together.
Yes. Yes. He was frozen into a block of ice like a cartoon character. Except,
Right.
like a cartoon character, he wasn't fine once they melted him out again. Well, it's
Are there footprints in the house at all? Similar to the ones by the boat?
I mean, near the house, there's so much foot traffic. It's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
So.
well. I propose that we take this picture into town and maybe ask about that, and maybe we could pursue some of those footprints, Levi, if you think you could track them somewhere. Although I don't know how you track anything across the waters.
Look for boat prints.
Boat prints, indeed.
That's right.
The lingering ripples. You
Yes.
interrogate the fish.
Just look for the dead wake. It'll be great.
Prince Humperdinck probably could. That's the weird
Yeah,
part.
That's
Prince
true.
Humperdinck definitely could,
He
but we
could.
don't have him.
I remember when I watched the movie, I was convinced that he was just faking how good he was at tracking, and then in the book they're like, no, really, he's actually good at this.
He actually has a skill set.
You're like, oh, I thought he
Put
was
all his
just a
skills in the
typical movie
tracking.
villain. Anyway. Are you heading up with the suggestion of going back into town?
Yeah.
Okay. You head back toward town. Is there any sort of method to whom you're approaching?
Mm,
Just go to
We-
everyone. Have you seen these people?
have you seen this man? I'll go back to. I was originally talking to one of the vendors, so we'll go back to that man. I
Okay.
suppose because he was helpful the first time, and say, "Hey, we, if you remember, we were looking for whoever harmed old Dario, and I found this at his cabin. Do you know? Is this him?"
Well, as you approach, he's sort of finishing up with a young lad who's got like 2 giant bags of food, and he sort of toddles off with his 2 giant bags of food. And you introduce your picture, asking about that. He's like, "Oh, where'd you get that?"
Old Dario had it in his bedroom.
Oh, yeah. He used to be married. Hang on a second. Where is that information? Why did I write that down but not that? Yeah, he used to be married to Albert's sister. She left him though a number of years ago. She had enough of him. Split.
Albert.
That is a bold choice.
I know. I don't remember.
She's still in the town?
No, you could ask the blacksmith about it if you really want to talk about it. But no, she left town. So I had to quit the whole thing.
Could understand that. It's quite shocking to leave your husband.
Hmm.
Did she have a name?
Yeah. Of course she did. Clara.
Thank you.
Old Clara Smith.
Was
Clara Smith?
Clara Smith. Well,
Is that her
that's
pre-marriage
a
name?
maiden name, yes.
Yeah. That's what I figured, but just had to ask.
Sorry. Pre-marriage.
I was like, does Dario have a last name?
Reinhold.
Dario
Reinhold.
I was gonna say Dario Fisherman.
Angler.
I know that.
Angler. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for letting us know. You remember was perhaps Albert cross about the whole thing?
Oh, I mean, he never liked him much. Interacted with him more than the rest of us, so, maybe he's got a right to.
Well, thank you very much. You've been very helpful. We'll step away back to the rest of the group and pass on this tidbit, unless we were all crowded around, like staring at him like a bunch of weirdos.
You gotta be
I
careful.
presume weirdos.
He might offer you a salary or something,
Oh no!
So, why do you think Clara left him?
Well, nobody in the town liked him. So
Well, she had to
Really?
like him at some point.
I liked him at some point.
Not necessarily. She could have been pressured by family.
Not Albert.
Who would pressure their family into marrying the weird old guy who lives in the woods? Win said maybe she never liked him.
Okay, 1, his shack is not in the woods. 2, he wasn't old when he was married.
3, we're the weird guys that live in the woods.
Nobody's pressured anyone into marrying either of you.
You know what? That's fair.
Your issues.
Well, perhaps she.
Nice and quite.
So the picture was them when they were young, but he died when he was old. So they were married a long-ish time, or no?
They
Wasn't quite described.
they didn't specify. They said, but it seems like she's been gone for a while.
No.
I mean, we can assume they didn't have children together.
Mm.
Is she gone or is she still in the town?
She's gone. She left the town after.
Oh, she left the town.
Yeah, she just left everything.
Yeah, she bounced
A number of years ago.
a number. Yes,
Okay.
It
Could
Several
be
years
1,
ago.
could be 407. A number.
it's probably not.
Truly, when people say a number, they don't mean a few.
It's true. It's true.
Several years ago. Just one
Well-
several year.
Unless she held quite a grudge, went away, learned a small bit of magic, and then came back to murder him.
It's not like she murdered him for his money.
I don't believe she murdered.
Maybe she didn't like him that much.
Actually, point, Eric, you'll recall, now that it's been said, you found no money in that shack, actually. Unless someone else had removed it after the crime scene was discovered.
I mean, the door was unlocked.
The door was unlocked, so maybe it was cleared
He
away
did have
by
an apprentice.
His
various
fishing
authorities.
too small, so
His-
That's right.
Good. Might we suppose that she left him because his boat was not big enough? She's like, I told you, to be successful, you need a bigger boat.
and he just wouldn't do it. He was too much of a cheapskate, and she bounced. Yeah.
And she bounced. She's like, I cannot live under
Well,
these
the guy with a
conditions,
bigger boat.
these small boat conditions.
Did you actually just say we're gonna need a bigger boat, or
Yes,
okay?
he was gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, okay. We already have a Quint lookalike sitting on the shore, so why not? Let's just bring in the Jaws references. Before you know it, a shark has killed him. So
A magical shark.
magic
I mean,
shark.
if
Yeah,
the
frozen
shark
person.
can make its way out of the water and just randomly freeze people, I feel like we have a full-on Cthulhu situation at that point. So clearly, a sleeper cult is involved.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
So there was no money in the hut then, in
No.
the house. So maybe whoever did kill him robbed him.
or maybe he was super poor.
He might have been super poor.
I mean, he wasn't well liked. That can go either way.
Often,
Out of character, what was his profession again? Like, who was
He was a
he was
fisherman.
a fisherman.
Oh, okay. So he.
But he
has
was good enough to have an
a
apprentice.
job anyway. So.
He was good
Well,
enough
he
to have an
was good
apprentice. though.
enough. He was good enough to have an orphan foisted off on him as an apprentice.
That's still something.
Yeah, but in my experience, you kind of need people to like you if you want them to buy something from you. So
Maybe
he
there was
probably didn't do very well.
I do believe this was said before, since you talked to the grocer. The grocer bought his catches
Oh, okay.
and then sold them to the rest of the town.
But just because you're good at your job doesn't mean you're,
Hmm.
you know, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
catch good, you know, fish that would sell. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Could just be like a business relationship.
Hmm.
Brenwyn said maybe we just missed the money. Maybe it's hidden somewhere.
Back to the cabin.
He's got it's buried in jars out in the backyard.
Under the floorboards, maybe.
Under the floorboards.
We could perhaps inquire at the inn and see if he had any debts.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Oh, thank you. I suppose yes, we could do that. Do we want to do that? Do we want to go out and visit the herbologist, or speak with the blacksmith?
Speak with who?
What'd you say, Chris?
No, I said speak with who, but you kind of.
Oh, the blacksmith. The blacksmith. The blacksmith.
Okay.
More information about Clara.
We have no idea where the apprentice went, right? Okay.
We didn't look at the docks yet to see if the apprentice was there at all, right?
Everybody said that he disappeared on the day of the murder.
Okay, gotcha.
So
We also need to inquire how old this apprentice is.
Yeah.
he's a young orphan.
Okay. So any like teenager to young adult, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Alright, so our options are go to the herbalist, blacksmith, or what was our last option?
In?
The inn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
We
it should
could always split the party.
split the party!
You theoretically could. There's
Mm-hmm.
no
Stopping
reason
at
to
the
believe
end
you couldn't.
Should be a fairly quick stop because we basically just say,
Uh,
did he have a standing tab? Yes. no.
yeah. So I'd say
Mhm.
well, let's go in first, then blacksmith, then herbalist.
Alright, so you're not splitting the party.
We're not splitting party. No.
Never!
Okay.
But we could have.
We
You could.
Could have.
We could have.
You could
threatened
have.
to, but we didn't.
Yeah.
And we often do, but not today.
Yeah. Your caution is there's no like threat assessment. It's just complete random. It's just like what do we feel like doing
Yeah,
today.
we always stick together on like mundane stuff, but then when there's danger, it's like we can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Groups
shop.
who shop together stay
Yeah,
together.
We grocery shop as a crew.
Grocery shop together, investigate, a deep dark dungeon
Alone.
alone.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Don't go buy boots for yourself.
No.
No, you need a partner for that.
You need the buddy system
Yes.
for shopping.
I mean,
Okay, so
Sharon's just enjoying this like wonderful stroll through town, and it's a lovely day. And I mean, are there really places to be? So
Okay.
Is
So you stop back in at the inn.
yes.
So you
Go
head
to
back
the
to
inn.
the White
Is-
Wagon. Hmm? Yes.
Is Miss Fate still there?
Yes. She's got like a large scroll rolled out on the table, and you can see her sort of pointing aggressively at various places at the scroll.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, she's she's like off in a sort of side sort of area, and yeah, you
Just to
yeah.
weigh up, like, what is she saying about the pointing? Like, what
If
is-
you sort of get a little bit closer, take a little bit of a notice, you can see that she's got her sort of associates with her, and it seems like the scroll has like a very crudely drawn map of the town. And she seems to be laying out some sort of battle plan
a battle?
for continuing the investigations
Oh, how very official of her.
/ hunt. So, for a brief moment, I thought about bringing out the full string wall, but no, we're not.
Does she have a string wall?
We're
Like,
not. We're not.
How many lines are drawn on this map? Are they in red?
I still can't. I will never get over that guy you guys hated.
He was suspicious.
Listen, if we can basically start her string wall by giving
Uh-huh.
her the team that she can like pin to her map.
It's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, yep. Are you heading
That's
over
none
to
of my
the?
business. Well, yeah, we'll head up to the innkeeper.
Oh, what can I do you for?
Yes. Sorry, we're hoping to help look into the investigation about what happened to poor old Dario.
I
And
see.
it's a bit of an awkward question, but is he the type to leave open a tab?
Oh well, yeah. Now, he did have a little bit of a problem, didn't he? It was somewhat covered on that behalf. Roll me some socially skills here.
Hey, socially skilled.
Some persuady.
Persuade. What do I have? Influence?
Yes.
93.
Not bad. He seems a little bit reluctant, but Cooper would cover for him occasionally.
Cooper?
Yeah, Jim Cooper. He's a well, barrel maker. You know, got a nice little family. His son liked to hang out with the apprentice he used to have. Yeah, he occasionally just sort of cover things over because, well, occasionally a man wouldn't buy food. Instead, he'd buy booze.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But their sons played his son played with the apprentice. Do you recall how old the apprentice was?
Oh, it couldn't have been more than 14.
Well, that's very helpful. We noticed we were having a look at his house, and he didn't have any money around. Not that we looked very hard, but
I see.
we hoped he wasn't robbed or anything, and thought maybe if he wasn't the one type to.
I mean, he wasn't really running a debt at the moment.
And he didn't have any family, perhaps, who would go and.
No family.
Oh, well, that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yep, anytime.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
So off to the herbalist.
I think the black
Blacksmith.
on the way out of town.
Yeah, blacksmith on the way out of town.
Okay. You head to the blacksmith, who has
Albert Smithery.
has a smithy that faces onto the market. You can easily find him working on just some basic tools. He is a stout, bald man with a thick beard. Can I help you?
Yes, we were. This is going to sound strange, but we're here hoping to help concerning the recent attack on old Dario the fisherman. Um, and
You were the witch hunters then.
much the witch
Oh,
hunters
okay.
did put us on, but I know something of magic myself, and most of our crews were very capable um, of handling some of these things, and it might be better for. I'm certainly invested in not having witches running around the countryside, so
Right.
thought we'd look into it. But I heard you knew something about what happened with Clara, and I was wondering if you knew if anybody might have been cross with him about that incident.
Well, a lot of us rightly are. He's a fat sack of crap, if you ask me. Oh, he's dead now, so that's taken care of.
It's not very nice to talk about the deceased in that way.
Yeah, he's been dead a long time.
What do you mean by that?
A week? It's not very long.
I don't mean physical.
Oh.
He's-
You mean since his wife left him?
Aye, that and before that. Really. It wasn't no good even before Clara decided to take a shine to him. When she married him. He did exactly what I told her she would. He would.
You,
Worthless,
Was-
lousy drunk. Got angry. Did angry drunk things.
Oh,
And she left. Good for her.
oh goodness. So
How long ago?
how long ago did she leave?
Oh, 5 years ago. About.
How long were they married?
Oh, about 3.
Oh wow.
so, but you don't think she'd come back at all?
No. No, no need to.
And I presume you're Albert, right?
Aye.
I lean over to Grizel. How old was Dario? Do you know?
Wait, would I know?
I don't think it's been discussed.
It has not.
Have I,
Everybody just calls him
none of us
old.
really saw him, so maybe I don't know. Maybe he's not old, but his demeanor makes him look more ragged than
Yeah.
sometimes
That happens.
of 40, 50-year-old looks in their 60s when they're
Alright,
Okay,
so
okay.
in this world, what is considered old?
that is a very good question because I don't know how to answer that.
Because old could be like a 35-year-old farmer.
That too. Like
Yeah. I mean, I think we're getting a little hung up on the term old, but
I'm getting hung up on term old.
we're getting a little hung up on the term old, yeah.
Alright, so it doesn't matter. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is too, remember, like, you gotta think linguistically, oh, it's old Dario. Old Dario doesn't mean the old guy who is called Dario. It's like, it's, a term.
Oh, it's OL apostrophe.
Sure,
Dario.
you could.
pretty much. Yeah. Also, the picture, like,
Yeah.
what? So she left 5 years, and then they were married 3, so that's already 8 years. I mean, people change in 8 years.
Yeah.
So.
So, did you know Mathis very well?
Can't say I did.
No. I wonder if he ever showed any, or did anybody ever mention that he had any magical abilities?
I've been doing to me.
Well,
Do you think that he did it?
well, it was an amateur, so
Oh.
I suspect, or somebody who's very good at imitating an amateur, or somebody who's just very poor at magic.
If if he got any of the same treatment my sister got, I suppose it would do him right to have done the old bastard in. So can't say blame if it was him.
Well, I believe there's a witch hunter down the street who will blame him quite a bit.
Yes, she will not be happy.
So maybe.
It's not a. You would have been better off hitting him in the head with something heavy. Is all.
Toss them off the boat.
Yes, exactly. Not that I'm encouraging anybody to hit anybody on the head with anything. I'm just saying that the very stern lady down the street would be much less interested if that's what he'd done, if he did anything at all.
Mm.
Would anyone else have wanted him dead?
Oh, I mean, aside from me,
It seems like he's made a lot of enemies.
See, you seem like a gentleman that would have gone straight to bludgeoning if that.
Yeah, yeah. You do.
That's what pretty much I told that witch hunter lady. Same thing. If it were me, I'd have caved his skull in.
And I suspect you would have done it several years ago.
Aye.
But I appreciate that you didn't. You're a very good man.
I wonder sometimes.
I lean over to Agnes.
Mm-hmm.
So, what made him, dead on the inside, like before he got married?
Do you know why he started drinking?
Cat says I do.
But you knew him when he was not drinking? You said he died a long time ago. Did you know him when he was nice or kind, or what do you mean by that?
Honestly, I never liked the guy.
Oh, that's fair. You don't have to like everybody.
No.
What did your sister see in him?
Can't say. I told her, don't do it. She did it.
We do sometimes make mistakes.
Everybody does.
Well, I'm glad she found a separate path. And well, did he have a family? Where'd he come from?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he came from a few towns over. This his accent is just traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
He also came from all over.
He came from all over. He's from all over. Thankfully, it's all over. Like, it's a tight spot of where he's all over from. But it's still
All over is actually an area.
all over. Yes. Just wait. That'll be an area in this game. All over.
The
All
town
over
of
town.
All over town.
Anyway.
Oh, where'd you come from? All over.
No,
That's a nice-
seriously. It's a good town. Well, yeah. Came up this way. Apprentice with another fisher. And, yeah. Doing his thing.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry to interrupt you with this, but
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think of anything else helpful or want to complain more about him, let us know.
No, I'll just be right happy to forget about him, honestly.
Well, hopefully you find a more pleasant fisherman for the town.
Aye. That we can do.
That- Let us all.
Alright.
So shuffling off to the
Shuffle off to the.
while
Yeah.
at the blacksmith, what was he working on? Like, does he just work on like anything that comes his way, like horseshoes and like?
It for the most part, yeah. It's horseshoes, tools, fittings for various things,
Fishing hooks.
rings for barrels, hooks. Although you generally speaking, you're going to find more nets for fishing.
Fair enough.
You know, commercially, usually you'll use like nets. But yeah, no, lots of just the general sundries that a town needs.
Gotcha.
Every town needs a blacksmith because every town needs that kind of good.
Yeah.
Not your typical fantasy setting where they're all like mass manufacturing magical weapons.
Piles and piles of armor. For
This is my regular
people
forge,
that
and this is
may
my
or may
mass
not.
manufacturing weapon forge.
Yes.
Right now, I'm in the process of making 37 iron daggers.
I'll
Yeah.
take one.
Granted, he probably does have a few swords, but you know, generally speaking, the majority of his work is going to be in just normal everyday stuff. Which, I mean, you know, making a shovel has to be easier than making a sword.
That's what they want you to think.
I suppose. Maybe that fitting for the handle is actually much more difficult than I'm giving it credit for.
I don't think it'd be I think it'd be the actual like spade itself.
Really?
The-
You think that'd be
Yeah, I
difficult,
think so.
more difficult than a sword blade?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
like making the blade itself. I mean, grinding it down is the easy part. You know, making it sharp.
I suppose. So there's a lot of things that need to go into it. You make a sword
I think
wrong,
it'd
it's gonna be.
probably be the same as anything else. Like if you make a lot of sword blades, you're going to wind up making better and better sword blades. If you're
That's
making
fair.
a lot of shovels, you're going to wind up making better and better shovels.
That's fair.
Good point. So, you head off to the old lady's house.
Yes.
How is she related again? Like,
She knows a bit of magic.
Oh, okay.
Crown Heinrich.
Mhm.
So yes.
Well, Grizel and Eric, you know about herbs. Do you want to, talk to her?
Um, sure. Well,
If
I don't know that
if I
much
know I
about
can keep a low
friendship,
profile with her, yeah. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what
So-
did you say?
You head off to.
Eric was saying he's keeping a low profile, so he might just suggest things for you to
yeah, that's why I like whisper over to people and like, hey,
That's-
hey, mention this.
Hey, ask a question for me. There's a lot of that in this group.
Exactly. There's some characters who do.
Where
We got Agnes, main character.
I have thought like this is not formed into a full thing, but I feel like this is the group that would do this, where there's one actual person and everybody else in the game is just the random voices in that one person's head.
All right, that'd be a great campaign. I don't know what you're talking
I-
That
about.
would be really
I just said like this is just something you guys would end up doing to me.
yeah.
The actual face character is a piece of bread being held aloft by Mage Hand.
Okay. That's either a reference or really random.
Meme
Okay.
reference.
All right.
It pushed me. over.
Anyway, so you guys head out of town following directions, and you come to Old Lady Heinrich's cabin. It is pretty nice. You know, it's an older place. but it looks pretty good. There's a little flower bed out front, nicely kept. No weeds at all. You can see there's a lot of like window planters and things like that set up, and there are things growing. Many of them don't seem to be grown for their appearance. So, what do you do?
Walk up and knock on the door.
Okay, you walk up and knock upon the door. And at least the first round of knocking, there doesn't seem to be an answer.
Is there a garden in the back?
If you poke around back, you do in fact discover a garden as well.
Is there a lady in the garden?
There is not a lady in the garden.
Okay.
I knock again.
You knock again.
Actually, like a polite, like.
Are you doing it a bit louder?
Yes.
Okay. You rap upon the door. And you hear oh, and then 1 minute.
Louder.
And then eventually the door opens and there's a little lady who's all hunched over. And she says, "Oh, hello. What can I do for you?"
Hello. We were just in the area. Wanted to browse your herbs if you're open.
Oh. People don't usually come up to me for that. That's a welcome change. Don't have to walk down to town. Do come in.
Okay.
I was just putting on some tea. Would you like some tea? Oh, you're friends. Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello.
I think there's enough tea for everyone.
I don't know. Do we all want tea?
I need to get some extra mugs. Hang on.
What kind of herbs are this tea
Yeah,
made of?
exactly. I wanted to ask him. She's already doing it.
Just,
I'm
just
like,
gonna get poisoned by an old lady. Like, come on.
Poisoned by an old lady.
uh-oh.
She walks over to
Embarrassing
what
way to go.
she walks over to a cabinet and sort of grabs out 4 mugs. And then she looks up at a shelf. And she sort of points over at Levi. You, come here.
Oh, okay. What can I do?
Get those 2 mugs down.
Okay.
Okay, you get the 2 mugs down. They've been stored like open side up, and they're a bit dusty inside.
I will wipe it out with my shirt.
Okay.
Because that's clean.
Ew. I feel like it just got
Look
dirty.
at this. Look at this thing.
Mhm.
I washed this shirt like 2 weeks ago. Fairly recent.
She sort of shuffles around, gets the kettle off the thing, and starts pouring everyone tea.
What kind of help her? This is her house.
You should offer her.
I did help her. I got the
You
cup
see
stuff.
how much she's struggling with that?
Look at her.
I lean over to Levi. Is Bronwyn is she bugging us about our annual baths again?
Annual.
No, she wants me to help her with the tea.
Oh, then why were you talking about that we just had the baths 2 weeks ago?
No reminder.
What? You
Okay.
want some peas?
No, thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I didn't have any peas, so
I don't.
Oh.
I don't need peas.
all right. What do you want?
Tea sounds lovely. What kind of tea do you have?
I have this tea. It is a black tea.
Looking at it, can I recognize what's in it?
Sure, you can. It appears to be tea. I am not a connoisseur of tea enough in order that would be able to adequately explain what sort of tea it is. It is tea.
Even Kieran's making sure, potentially crazy old lady, did she just put tea in the tea?
Yeah. Yes, it is actually just tea.
Okay.
It is actually just tea. That's a fair fair question of did she accidentally put, I don't know, shekaberries in the tea?
Oh, you
And
said
also, there's just a lot of wild herbs here. It's like could be very.
Yes, it could be anything.
You know, or like an old person variant where, you know, there's like a mild laxative in the tea or something, you know.
You know, like
You got to stay regular.
Off of the pretzel.
Huh?
We've been traveling for a while. How constipated are we?
it's just prunes. It's not tea leaves. It's just prunes. Soaked in water.
So I learned about a really weird like medical issue recently. Paradoxical diarrhea. This is where you're constipated and then there's like diarrhea on the other side. So you have it dry and then really wet and it's ugh. Ugh. These are weird things that happen in the body.
Yeah.
sounds like a bear after hibernation.
Okay, I now need to ask, what is the context in which this topic arose?
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You don't.
We just
So
leave it
we're
there.
drinking tea.
You're
huh?
drinking
We're
tea.
drinking tea.
It's perfectly normal tea. There's no laxatives in it.
Okay. What a relief.
Yeah.
Or lack of.
Lax.
Um,
Is that what the relief is?
No. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Good night.
so as we're drinking this tea,
Yes.
I will mention. So do you just deal in herbs, or in a more of a hushed tone? Do you also deal in like magics?
Magic? No. Oh no. No magics. It's all just normal herbology. Have you been listening to the people in town?
Yes.
Oh. Well, little one, you'll get that. They don't understand. They come to me. They say, "Oh, Lady Heinrich, what? Help me with my gout." And I help them with their gout, and they go, "Oh, she's magic."
I understand.
You know, there's a lot of natural remedies that act like magic. I do understand
That they
the
do.
fine line between them.
Mm-hmm.
It is easy to get it mixed up, so I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did hear rumors that you may have some knowledge in some magics as well, along with the herb.
If I could do magic, do you think I'd be this bent over? No, I'd
So
straighten myself out.
Do you know any natural remedies that would freeze a person solid?
No. Not unless you, I don't know, jumped in a cold lake. That's natural.
I take it you've heard of Dario, yes?
The fisherman.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of him. He's a
Did
fisherman.
you hear what happened to him?
What? No. What happened?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but apparently he was murdered.
Oh, no. Oh, that's terrible.
Has Mathis been by to stop by recently?
Mathis, no. No, I've not seen him in 2 weeks.
And was this in town that you saw him, or did he come up here?
No, I saw him in town. I go down there every Sunday.
Is there a place he likes to go? Outside of town, maybe. Did you know him well at all?
Not really. You know, he'd occasionally come and visit. He'd buy a few herbs here or there. You know, they're mostly seasonings and stuff like that.
You know,
Familiar with his apprentice?
No.
Ian, by the way, I sent you a message.
Oh gosh, okay. Hang on.
Being the old, I'm sure everyone tells you all their secrets.
Oh, secrets? Oh, no, I don't think so. Maybe.
Just a little gossip here and there, you know.
Well, you couldn't have that.
What did you know about Dario? And
Yeah,
why?
I asked if you knew about his
Dario?
purpose at all.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
If anyone, I don't know who that came up.
Mathis is the
Mhm.
apprentice.
Yes.
That's who she was
Oh.
talking to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or talking about.
Yeah, Mathis is the apprentice. Dario is
What was the name of the guy we just talked to? Because I got them mixed up. The names mixed up.
The blacksmith is named Albert.
Right. Okay. Got it. I think that's what threw me off. I'm like, oh, why are we talking about him now?
Yeah, Mathis. Yeah, we've been calling it the apprentice, but like then we were like, oh yeah, he's got a name. So his name's Mathis Blue.
Yeah, Mathis Blue is the apprentice. Albert Smith is the smith.
Okay.
Clara Smith is Albert's sister.
Got it.
This
Thank
is Old Crone Heinrich. And then we have yet to meet a Jim Cooper who makes barrels.
you.
What was the previous question? I don't think I answered it.
Do you know any gossip about Dario?
I mean, nothing anyone else couldn't tell you. You know, the bit of a rough sort. Wife left him, poor thing.
Do you know how he got started on drinking? Did something bad happen to him? Oh,
Maybe.
darn.
Couldn't say. Maybe it started because something bad happened. Maybe bad things happened because it started. It's hard to tell.
That's true. You haven't met the witch hunter yet, have you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good. If you hadn't, I was going to warn you that you might come storming up here because everybody down in town believes you're magical.
No, well, it's interesting you say that because, well, she came up here and interviewed me and everything, and I didn't even know why. Left me alone pretty quickly, though.
Well, that's good. I'm glad she didn't cause you too much trouble.
No. No, I pretty quickly convinced her that I don't know any magics.
Well, I'm
So
glad.
she just came up here asking if you knew magic, not if you know who killed Dario.
Well, maybe she did. I didn't hear her. It's possible. But maybe she didn't.
Well, while we're here, are there any herbs that you would be interested in buying?
Depends if she has them.
No.
We did say
Ask
that
away.
before.
I believe you have the sheet. Do you not?
I do have the sheet. I'm looking at the sheet now.
Okay.
How much money do we have? That's a real question.
How much money do you have written on the top of your sheet?
Well, I don't carry money.
Oh.
Oh, right. I am your treasurer person. We collectively have. Oh no, you have 20. I have 165.
That's 20 gold, I'm assuming, or is it just 20
Yeah,
dollars?
20 gold.
20
I mean,
gold.
I'm willing to like. Yeah, I think I mentioned last time, like we can buy stuff together if it's like has to do with herbs and stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff's really expensive.
Yeah, because like I have a little bit more gold than you.
Yeah.
So,
So clan. I don't want a clan. Yeah, right now, I mean, I don't think I really need anything.
Okay.
Yeah, save. I'll get something really good later.
Alright.
Well, thank you very much for you were very helpful, and we're sorry to be the bearers of bad news.
No.
Um,
No, that's all right. Better to know.
I suppose that's
It's like turning into a leprechaun. You guys better get out of here.
oh no! Quick!
She's drinking.
If she turns into a leprechaun, then she was totally lying about the magic thing.
It kind of sounded like she was lying, but I have
Solved
low
it.
social awareness that it
That's
didn't
why I
matter.
didn't have any. Yeah.
Does anyone have social awareness? Because
I do have
Nope.
social awareness.
Yeah, no, I don't have any.
I'm
If Matt-
socially
if-
aware that she's about to become a leprechaun, and we don't want to hear
that's
it.
it. That's
Seize
uh,
the
if-
bone.
No!
So,
If Mathis ends up showing up, let him know to come find us, and instead of the witch hunters.
all right then. I do hope he's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Us as well. I mean, I don't think he is. I mean, he's off there all alone.
What did he buy 2 weeks ago?
I think she said he usually showed up and bought like spices and
Spices
things.
and herbs and like food
So nothing
seasoning.
like
Like
out of the
cooking.
ordinary.
Yeah, he didn't buy like make my boss into a frost giant or whatever.
No.
Ah,
That's
so disappointing.
Nothing as blatantly obvious as that.
Okay.
Just some wintergreen mint.
Wintergreen.
But no like ingredients for magic stuff. Okay.
None that she admitted to, anyway.
I mean, I guess next place we could go is go see Jim, since he was all buddy.
Yeah, we could speak with his son and see if maybe he would know where Mathis would go.
And then find out he's lying and he's hiding Mathis.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we gotta find out where this Jim fellow is.
Yes, this is going to magically compel him. Confess.
Look, the statutes of confessing to something you never did under torture aren't available yet. So we can make it happen.
Good to-
That's why you wanted the expensive herbs, right? You just like feed them some truth serum,
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
drug him up.
tea, drink this
That
tea.
was literally
Here's a question.
thing
What do you-
about that. I need to like find a potion that can like be a truth serum.
Yeah, truth
I don't know if they exist. I don't know if there's a spell like that.
They could probably
think
figure
there
one out.
is.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking.
My question is, would a like compelling truth spell count as mental manipulation?
Oh, interesting.
There's a poison that causes the victim to spontaneously combust.
Yeah.
Oh,
Conversion poisons and the like are really nasty.
Yeah.
I think there's
Fair.
one that turns your eyes into honey.
ew.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah. Yellow venom converts optic juices of eyes to honey.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there was some really weird poisons getting made up by the ice crew.
Although we could get some Borkwilb flower, and cause shared dreams, which sounds interesting.
Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy.
Or euphoric hallucinogen. That could work too. That could be a truth teller serum.
I think the euphoric hallucinogen I once heard in the game, they used it in place of an anesthetic.
That would
So
probably work.
you still feel the pain, you just don't care.
That is a real drip.
Yeah.
That's what they gave me when I had my babies.
Well, I mean, whatever gets you
Isn't
through it.
that what made you think the world was made of Legos? What was that?
Yep,
No.
because they messed up the dosage.
Nice.
Oh my.
They're like,
I
get
knew
out.
it wasn't.
Well,
But it just looked
sure.
like it was.
Oh, no.
Just a little bit OD, you know? It's cool.
Yeah,
Just, you know.
a little.
Just a little.
Yeah, I can't imagine being an anesthesiologist. It's like you mess up your job and like people die. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they
That's-
get paid so much.
They
Yeah.
get paid like 200K per reason.
Oh,
I mean, you gotta be perfect, so you know.
yeah. So much money.
It's like I had a minor surgery a long time ago at this point, and they gave me too much because they didn't realize I was dehydrated. So I was literally just
Oh.
knocked out for like 18 hours, and they didn't know what was wrong.
Oh my gosh.
no.
They're like, we don't know what's wrong, and then like they just gave me a water drip, and I was up in like 20 minutes.
Oh, he hasn't drunk anything since '02. That's what's wrong.
O2. What a. Yeah. Anyway.
Amelia wasn't there to tell you to drink more water.
Yeah, exactly.
To drink more water. I don't think truth spell, regardless of whether or not it's legal for me to cast a truth spell.
That's right.
So we're gonna go find Jim, the barrel
Yes.
boy.
Okay.
Jim Cooper.
You head off to find Jim.
Is it Cooper with a C or a K?
It's with a C.
Oh, fuck, that's how I spelled it.
Same.
That is how one usually spells it, unless you're like Bowser trying to like hide in human society.
Okay. Yeah. So we try and find Jim.
You go to find Jim. Eventually, you find the Coopers and their residence. Thanks to your sort of investigations, you're sort of getting on, into the sort of late afternoon. As you arrive.
Mhm.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. And yeah, you find yourself at the Cooper's residence. It is a fairly nice looking house in town.
All right. Anybody outside?
There is no one outside currently.
All right. Knock on the door.
What is so funny?
The Muppets as denominations.
I will share it
Okay.
because it's funny.
All right.
I think I briefly saw that, but it's not a video, is it?
No,
No.
they're just
Okay.
Picture.
Yeah, I think I really saw it and I didn't read it, so yeah.
Are the Unitarians in there, and is it just like Crazy Harry?
No, Crazy Harry's not on the list.
That's a good thing, honestly.
There you go. You can look at it.
All right.
Hey,
Yes, I will do that later. So yeah, you knock upon the door.
Yep.
And
Knock on the door.
there is an answer. The door opens, and there is a young man at the door, probably about 15, 16 years old. It's the kid from the grocer, actually, you notice. It says, hi? Can I help you?
Yes. Hi. We're we're here to talk to your father.
Oh,
Is he home?
yeah. Hang on, I'll go get him.
Thank you.
And he heads off, and very shortly, a broad-shouldered man in his 30s appears. He has long, pulled-back hair. Oh yeah, what can I do for you?
Yes, hi. We're helping the investigation of the possible murder or the murder last week, and we were wondering if you could help us, maybe be pointed in the right direction of anything you know about the old man or the apprentice.
Oh well, I mean, you know, young Sebastian spent a decent amount of time over that way.
Did you say Sebastian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sebastian. That, in fact, is the name I wrote down. If not, it was going to be.
Fine name.
Yeah, you know, boy was a little younger than him, but they got on pretty well. Was there anything in particular you were looking for?
Actually, we were hoping maybe to get your permission to speak with Sebastian. Maybe he knows where Mathis went. We were hoping maybe to find him and speak with him, particularly before the witch hunter does. She seems very intense.
Oh, sure. Yeah, come on in. So yeah, you I assume enter enter the house.
We'll all go straight in.
Yep. Yep, and yep, the kid is there. He's wiry, blonde haired. Available.
Available.
All right.
Well,
I'll actually, I won't be in the house. I'll be outside.
Okay. All right.
we have split the party.
Aha.
Very slightly.
Slightly. Now that Dante is alone, he can be attacked.
Aha.
Finally.
Might be in a bucket, but he is still bait.
That's right. Maybe.
Well, hello, Sebastian. My name is Agnes, and we were hoping you could help us find Mathis. We're just hoping to make sure that he's safe and that he continues to be safe. Do you know? Are there any hiding places that you used to go to when you were playing?
Well, there's a little like kind of fallen log in the woods. We would occasionally, go run off to.
Do you think you could show us where it is?
Sure.
He's not in any trouble. We're just, trying to make sure that he stays safe.
Okay. Yeah. I can take you out there.
That would be very helpful. And out of curiosity, you guys didn't talk about doing magic at all, did you?
What? No. What? No. It'd be crazy.
obviously convinced.
Nope, socially inept, but do I see magic?
Do you see magic? No, there's no currently working magic spell.
And I mean, I'm not saying that it would. I mean, that plenty of children pretend to do magic. I'm just, again, we're just checking to make sure.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the real stuff. Yeah, no.
Have you? And this is okay. Out of character.
Uh-huh.
How do you know you've got like the inclination, or is it just like anybody can learn magic, and like
usually there is a certain modicum of personal aptitude. Those who are a mild talent can be trained into something workable. A natural talent can manifest without training.
okay?
It's just there are different degrees.
So
Is
is
that
there a
with
certain
all three
amount of
types of magic, or is that just with the essence magic?
So for channeling is different, and it does sort of. Most channelers do not come into their sort of thing. This is sort of where things get screwy, right? I suppose on a case by case basis, you would have to sort of say what it was, but
well,
a lot of
we're talking about
yeah,
essence
right. In this particular case, yeah.
in this case, and I don't know if I'm interrupting your answer in a more general way, but
No, that's fine, because that is sort of what's at hand, right?
yeah, I'm mostly asking like,
Yeah.
is there some sort of, I want to say like Harry Potter-ish like pre-training manifestations of magic? So could he have accidentally
Yeah.
turned somebody into an ice cube?
That's entirely possible.
Okay. Is there any sort of handling of situations like that where they're like, whoops, or is it just like straight, you're a witch now because you should have noticed before you turned somebody into
How dare you?
So the thing is, right? You're while we do have things like magic and we have some advancement in that sort of way, and there's a lot of fantastical advancement. They don't have things like DNA tests. They basically, it's kind of hard to prove that anything actually happened.
Okay.
So, if you wanted to, you could just grab this kid right now and go run him to the proper authorities and get him inducted.
Mm-hmm.
And he would be free and clear, pretty much.
There are like witch hunts in this world, right? Like you
Absolutely.
Can say, oh, witch, and then they burn them at the stake or something.
Yeah.
So if we got him inducted, even after the fact, because he hadn't broken a law
Right.
since,
Yeah.
like he'd still have
The
to...
enchantments wouldn't pick up on previous sins, only
Okay.
once they occur after they're on.
Oh, that is good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good to know. Okay. I'm glad we had this time out. So Sebastian was going to show us to a log.
That he was. So. Right. I assume we head off that way, yes?
Yeah, if we're from, is there anything else anybody else wanted to ask?
While I was not inside,
Mm-hmm.
do they have like a barn where they work on the barrels and stuff like that?
There is sort of a workshop.
I would do like a quick sweep of that since I know both the dad and the son are there.
Okay. Yeah, you take a quick sweep. Roll me some sort of either perception or some sort of searchy skill.
The searchy skill. I think I have perception. What was the thing I got? That is the thing I got. That's the thing I got a lot of.
Yeah, it should be.
Math. 146.
That's pretty good. You find a bag of groceries hidden in one little forgotten corner of the workshop.
Okay. Like it's just like bread and maybe some cheese, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Stuff that doesn't seem to really need prepared.
Mm-hmm. And it's just sitting there.
Yep.
Okay. I make note of that.
Okay.
And then I'll go back to the house and
Sure.
wait for you to come out.
Okay. People come out, and the group walks off to the log.
Before they walk off, I
Uh-huh.
would stop.
Yes.
Let's see. Who should I stop? That's the real question. I'm gonna stop Grizel. You will be my companion. Hey, we're splitting the group. I plan on waiting here at the house.
Okay.
Because there's a suspicious, just groceries sitting in the barn. They're kind of hidden.
Hmm.
So if you want to stick with me,
Yeah, sure. What
If-
was
if
in
not-
the groceries?
it was just food, but it's not in the house, and it was hidden in the workroom.
Okay. Yeah. I follow you.
I was like, hey, real quick before you, I'm gonna go to the barn, but can you tell them what we're doing so that they don't know
Oh,
we went?
yeah. I just stop whoever's closest to me, and say, me and Eric are just gonna investigate the barn,
Okay.
and we do that.
All right. So you guys are gonna go dig around the barn more.
I'm
Or-
probably just gonna stake out the groceries, just like
Okay.
Yeah,
where I found
maybe
them,
we're like just stake out.
and see who takes them.
Okay.
Is there a steak on this stakeout?
The
Actually, hold on. I have invisibility potions at the ready.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
good call. No,
let's
I
see.
mean, I
don't
guess
need to
we could
roll
also
stealth when you
use-
just drink a potion.
I mean, couldn't I also just use what is it called? Unseen on myself.
Unseen, I think, is something you cast on objects, whereas invisibility is what you cast on beings.
Okay.
It's weird.
So your clothes will be unseen.
Yeah,
Well,
which don't
naked
do
bodies
that.
can also be unseen,
Make you naked.
Oh no.
but bodies are not
Right.
people technically.
Bodies are
Okay.
inanimate objects, so they have no soul.
Well, about that.
You have a soul. That is the one thing we know about your character, is that there is a soul in there.
Whether
is
we
true.
wanted it in there or not.
Right.
Yeah, the whole invisible thing is really weird. Like
One
invisibility
object,
too says the radius is like 1 foot.
Right.
I'm just assuming that is fine.
Yeah, it's like 1 foot from you,
Yeah.
so you can like make because if you're holding on to like a lamp or something, let's say,
Mhm.
then like
Oh, okay. That's okay.
yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, I'll drink one. It lasts like 24 hours. So
Yep.
Wow.
If you do, there are things you can do that will dismiss it, but if you're just chilling, yeah, no, 24 hours.
exactly. I figured there are ways to not like have it be 24 hours.
So as they are heading out, can I use study disguise?
What is that?
It's caster studies a person for the use of disguise spells later on the list,
Okay, fair enough.
and I can have as many disguises as I do levels.
Okay, so who are you studying?
Uh, uh, his name is
Sebastian.
Sebastian, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I assumed so. I think I see what direction you're going in.
And then I'm also going to use light glamour, so I look like Sebastian.
Okay. All right.
You're gonna end up getting stuck doing chores.
Look, that's fine. It'll be
I thought he
fine.
was invisible. Is he not invisible, or are you hanging out as?
Yeah, what are you doing now?
Oh, I'm
I-
not
I
invisible.
thought-
I'm just being
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Okay. All right.
I'm invisible though.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just be like moving barrels around the barn, just like
Oh my gosh.
trying to act non-suspicious. It'll be great.
Meanwhile, being actually suspicious.
And being super suspicious the entire time. But
as people do when they're told not to act as suspicious as possible.
Or suspicious.
All right. So.
Look, my social awareness is -1, so
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh
you
gosh,
guys
yours is
have
worse than mine.
social awareness. It's important.
Oh no.
I thought I was bad with 15.
yeah, no.
I have 17. Who has the highest? It's important. You know.
But I'm really good at ambushing people. That's what I'm really good at.
I have social awareness of 4.
Oh dear.
I think I have the best. But I mean best, I mean
I
worst.
might social aware. Oh, I've got.
Wait.
Fine.
I
You
have
one?
So
but
is
I-
the highest social awareness or ghost?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
seems right.
Accurate.
Yeah.
All right.
So the
Yeah.
ghost is the only one competent at understanding people. Perfect.
Mhm.
But I have to go through this,
It's
guys.
just gonna go through. It's like that. I succeeded in my social role, so
You did.
So we got log crew and we got barrel crew.
Yep.
Log crew, barrel crew.
Yeah.
So, log crew. You guys. Yes.
On the way out,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start talking to Sebastian and say, I brought up magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all bad. I went to school for it myself. And it's one of those things where if you show some sort of talent, you can go instead of getting in trouble for doing it. You could register and go to school and learn how to control it. And it can be quite fun actually, if you're properly trained.
Throw me some influence.
No. 86.
He sort of gives a yeah. I bet it's super fun being able to do all kinds of stuff.
Mm.
What did you have to do to get in?
Well, I went in and I was sponsored by the church actually. So sometimes they're willing to sponsor somebody even if they don't have a lot of money or if they can't get in other ways. So there are ways of accessing it from for all walks of life, really.
You said like talent or something, so like you were able to do stuff or something.
Well, you sometimes if you
Hmm?
have amount of ability, you might be able to do things without training. Although sometimes you can go and they'll I want to test you. It's they'll try and see if you have an inclination for it. But sometimes if you're very good at it, you can do some things without training. And that's the sort of time, if you're that talented, then it would be good to go and find somebody to train you, so you accidents don't happen. We wouldn't want that.
No.
And of course, if they did happen, then it would be best to go and get that training, because then everybody would know that you obviously are devoted to not hurting people, but just learning to be responsible. That sounds quite boring, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Well, there's lightning. It's responsible with lightning, so it balances out.
Oh, gosh.
Not that they teach you lightning right away. You have to work up to that. But you can, I don't know, move wind around and scare zombies away. That's fun.
Well, I hope it wouldn't be anywhere near zombies. Is that what they do? They send you out to go fight zombies?
Well, sometimes zombies find you, and when they do, it's best to be able to scare them away. Unless you have, some of my friends can scare them away in other ways.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad you haven't had any encounters with zombies. They're quite unpleasant.
No,
Oh,
it's mostly
I
fish.
suppose. So do you fish a lot too?
No, I usually just help Dad out, with the barrels, learning to take over the business eventually.
That sounds like a lot of responsibility too.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Do you like making barrels?
Oh, I haven't really done much else, so I guess it's okay, You gotta eat. You can't eat if you don't work.
Suppose that is true. Oh. On the way here, we've been doing quite a bit of hunting in order to eat, and fortunately, Levi here is quite good at it, and we have pets and everything, so it's quite educational.
Just because it's fun doesn't mean it's not work.
Very true.
Hunting still counts as work.
Yeah. So, you arrive at the indicated location. There is indeed a fallen over log, and there is somewhat of a little place to sit under. Does not appear to be any sign of anyone else.
Are there any fresh-looking tracks?
Roll it.
Uh, 189.
No. You see no recent footprints. At least not of human beings.
Okay.
You're pretty bad at tracking.
Well, okay, your own party's coming up here, not... No one else.
Are there any obvious paths besides the one we came up?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Um. Well, I suppose he's not here.
Well, he's definitely not here. Hasn't been here for a while.
Oh. Well, that's good to know. You wouldn't, Sebastian, you wouldn't know if where he would run off to. He didn't mention any towns.
Maybe another influence roll here.
You're not being very convincing, are you?
Not right now.
Oh dear.
Are you still
32.
stuck? You're still stuck on Call of Cthulhu rolls, huh?
Oh no.
You know, the rest of them have been very, like, moderate high. But I just rolled 8. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, 32. 32. It's not a fumble, but
He sort of shrugs. I mean, you know, it's not like he's got a whole lot of, you know, doesn't have any family. Not really, he really well could go. Unless he just went away.
oh wait, yes, well. I feel like this is my entire life, is tracking people who went away.
Have you found any of them yet?
No.
Need to work on that.
Thank you, Levi. That's
I'm sure you'll find them someday.
You're always a ray of sunshine, no matter what's going on.
I mean, look at the day. We're just having a nice walk through the forest.
We are.
I suppose that's true.
We didn't find the person we were looking for, but it was still a nice walk through the forest.
Roll social awareness. That skill no one has.
I have a nope.
Everybody, yeah, you can roll it.
If you roll a 5, do you have to roll downward?
No, 4 or less.
All right, we're doing good.
Right?
We're doing good.
Hey, I rolled okay. 79.
All right.
96 to
34.
96 to roll up, yeah.
99.
130. No, what is it? Yeah, 139.
Okay. Well, as you're saying it's such a nice day, you do see Sebastian sort of looks off to the distance and says, you know, kind of just like, oh, it's probably going to rain tonight, though. And those who rolled sufficiently well.
Who is that? I mean, I'm assuming Robin, but anyone else?
I got 99.
Andy, yeah, Levi, what was your score?
79.
79? Sure. We'll note a little, almost trepidation in his demeanor. He's worried about the rain tonight, apparently.
I'm so impressed with everybody that lives next to to any body of water that they can figure out the weather so well.
I mean, and you? I mean, usually we can tell how, like, what it's going to be like in the forest as well.
Yeah,
Do you not pay attention to the weather living in the church?
Well, it is inside. And so the weather does not affect our plans quite as much.
Sure. Well, Sebastian, you know, we um, we live in a cabin, so the rain affecting our way of life is very common. Are you a little worried about the weather tonight? You live in a very nice house. Is there a
Oh
reason?
yeah, no, well, yeah, no, it's just it's gonna rain, and then it's gonna get muddy. Yeah, muddy.
He's not worried about the mud.
Why would you be worried about the mud?
I don't know. Just because then it's gonna, like, you walk in it and then your shoes get muddy, and then mom will get mad because your shoes are muddy.
Can't you take them off?
Sure, but then you gotta clean them, and it's annoying.
Stop asking him about the mud.
Well, what else might you be little?
Do
Oh,
you
worry
not
about.
know? His friend is out here alone. He's worried about his friend getting rained on all night with no shelter. Stop asking him about mud.
Sometimes when Kieran, my friend here, and I are and it's raining a lot, we try to look for shelter because we can often get pretty sick. If we get too cold, sometimes the mud is a big problem, but the rain without shelter could really be concerning. Right, Kieran? Anytime there's possible rain, we got to make sure we're in shelter, and if anybody else is, we always help
When
them.
do we get sick?
If there's anybody else stuck in the rain, we always try to help them, right, Kieran?
Sure, but when do we get? I don't remember I don't remember ever getting sick.
We've gotten sick lots of times.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Don't worry about him.
Out of character, yeah, no, he really doesn't.
Oh goodness.
But what I'm trying to say is, if you're worried about it, if there's anybody else that should be concerned about the possible, lot of rain, we don't want anybody to get sick, and like we said.
All right, don't let on too much.
Just here to help.
Look, I'm not saying I know anything, but if somebody knew what happened and how everything sort of went, and whoever it was that did whatever it was, you could make sure they don't get murdered by the witch hunter person?
That is the goal.
Because, yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be killed by witch hunters.
Yeah, no. Just the other day, the witch hunter lady surprised us and stuck a gun at our friend's head, and that was a pretty.
Is that a help?
He was murdered because we're here to help make sure everybody is safe and taken care of. But she is crazy. We're not. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
I think the point is that I do know magic, and she didn't shoot me, and it's not because I didn't know magic. It's because I have one of these, and I'll show him. Pull the collar down and show him the marking.
I've heard of those.
Well, I'm saying if somebody were to, by accident, untrained, use some magic, one could quickly go somewhere, get one, and then the witch hunter wouldn't be able to touch them.
He thinks about it for a minute. And then says, I was there. Afterwards, I took Mathis out to the island on the lake.
Okay.
Been bringing him food. I was gonna help him escape that night, and then Dario found out. He got mad, and I got scared, and I somehow froze him.
You froze him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well, it sounds like to me, whenever he got mad, it was a dangerous situation. So, protecting yourself is important, but like, you know, again, protecting yourself is important, just like Agnes is trying to help you at this moment, too. Right?
With him gone, why is Mathis still out on the island then?
Well, because everyone's gonna think he did it, and the witch hunter's gonna kill him.
That's a very good point. Well, I have a proposal. I think I have a way where we can get both of you away fairly quickly.
What's that?
Shockingly enough, a bit of magic. But I do know a teleportation spell. It's a bit risky at this distance, but
Nice.
we could give it a go.
Thankfully, the destination is probably well known. So.
Oh yes, if I'm gonna do a teleportation, I will do it to somewhere I know quite well.
Yeah. Okay, so how are you going to proceed from here? Because you've got two people who are hiding back
wait
at
to
the
ruin everything.
Coopers.
I think that's going great so far.
It's going.
I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to like wait to see if Mathis would come and pick up the groceries, but that's not how they were getting delivered. I'm sorry.
Nope, it was not.
That's a good idea.
Look, someone had to be there just in case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's true.
We had to do it.
I mean, for like not getting caught sake, wouldn't the best thing be to do just head over to old Dario's place, send Agnes and Matthias out in the little boat to the island, and with maybe one other person to help her row back, and she teleports them from there, and oh no, what a mystery.
Reese. I can do 30 miles.
That's pretty good.
30 miles. Okay.
Is there a place I'm familiar with within 30 miles?
Sure.
That's a good head start anyway.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Okay. So what we need to do well, we're not going to need to get you at least a marking, if not some training. That's quite a bit of talent you had there. You scared or no, freezing somebody solid is quite a piece of work. And we want you to learn not to do it again.
Right.
Right. So I think Bronwyn, if is she here, Levi?
Yeah,
Always here.
always here.
Well, I don't want to presume. If helpful, if you don't mind, to keep an eye on our witch hunter friend.
I can only go so far away from you.
Yeah, I mean, she could. I would have to go too.
Oh.
She can't go very far away from me. That's why she's always here. She's right here, all the time. All the time.
Oh, I suppose she is. Okay. Well, I don't know. I think if we knew that we weren't about to get caught trying to spirit a witch out in front of the witch hunter, it would prevent awkward conversations.
But aren't you allowed to do magic?
I'm allowed to do magic, but
Can't you do whatever magic you want?
Oh.
You're just teleporting a random kid who needs a ride. What's it to her? You're allowed to do whatever you want, right? Is that not
so
how
this
it
is
works?
a conversation I'd rather not have with her.
Do you want me to go have a conversation with her?
No, no, nobody should have a conversation with her. I'm just. Maybe this is all a bit of nonsense, but do we should probably have a conversation with your father before I zap you off 30 miles.
Unless his father's going to be upset. Maybe we should go tell his father afterwards.
Friend maybe afterward, instead of ask for permission, apologize. Because maybe he might
Yeah,
be
sometimes parents overreact.
It's true.
Mhm.
I had a great parent, but he overreacted sometimes too.
Would being upset about kidnapping be overreacting?
Not kidnapping.
Brenwyn said it's not kidnapping. She's pretty smart. You can probably believe her.
But again, that's a conversation I'd rather not have.
But
Well,
do you
I mean,
want-
we could just not tell them.
Yeah. You don't have to tell people.
Exactly.
But then his son will have just disappeared. Do you know how awful it feels when people you care about just up and disappear? It feels very bad.
I mean,
Well, sometimes those people have very good reasons, and getting executed by a witch hunter seems like a very viable reason.
But it
you
would.
want your son to die, disappear.
Matthias, if we send you away secretly, can you write your dad a letter?
It's up Sebastian. But
Sebastian, dang it, forgot which kid.
sure.
It's definitely can't write his dad a letter.
Yeah.
See? He'll write his dad a letter.
Once he has. Okay, here, out of character though, how long will it take him to get this tattoo?
Probably not all that long, honestly.
Okay.
In the grand scheme of things.
Practical knowledge, even before he gets it, would the temple honestly refuse for him to write a letter?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, okay, so maybe we don't tell him, but we'll get you back as soon as possible, just with some fun tattoos. Who doesn't want a tattoo when they're a kid?
Yeah.
Yay!
Tattoo.
Yay!
You're not a kid.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Anyway,
It would
Maybe by
probably
the
be
time
some. it would probably be some time before he could return, because there, like, as you pointed out, the training that goes along with all of that. You know, you can't just slap tattoos on somebody and then go like, okay, we registered the gun that's just gonna randomly go off. We're good. We're not gonna give anybody any indication on how to make the gun not go off.
Well, I think we get the tattoos.
But, yes.
So you're not witch hunter, murderable.
Yes.
Then we go have a conversation with your dad. And then you go to school. Seems like a reasonable order.
Or we just send him to school. We just leave. And when he wants to, he can write a letter to his dad.
If he feels ready, he can write a letter. If not, their life will go on.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to break poor Sebastian's father's heart, and I won't stand for it.
That's the problem when two of the people in the party were orphaned at 10.
Doesn't that make it even more of a thing? Okay, the runaway is different, but like when you're
you were a runaway. I was orphaned at like 11.
Yeah, you think you would be more into family actually, not having had one for a very long time.
But he's got me.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were raised by a ghost. We're fine.
Yep. Perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Ghost big sister, works out. It's
We're
fine.
a very functional family.
Levi goes off of
Things that happened in life, raised by a ghost. It's all good.
Yeah.
Levi goes off the Batman family mentality, where you just adopt all your family.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
The people.
All right. So, you are doing what from here? Because I think the immediate steps are pretty much the same. I think everyone's in accord as far as what's going to happen in the next hour.
Yeah.
What happens after that hour we can deal with later.
Yeah, one step at a time. Wait, so what are we doing in the next hour? We are going to the island.
At least one person is going to the island. Is more than one person's going to the island?
I mean, are you sending them directly from the island?
You could probably make it. Yeah.
There's no reason to leave the island.
Okay. Then I'll go with you to help you row the boat back after you send them.
Okay,
I
where
do
should we
appreciate that.
go when you're done with that?
Hmm?
Where should we meet you when you're done with that?
At the inn, I suppose.
Yeah, you can go back to the inn, and I mean, wasn't her original plan you scoping out the Fate ladies, anyway, and just the two of you can go back and
What
get a
about
drink and
Grizel.
And
Brazil? Yeah.
somebody has to go in and tell Eric and Giselle's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Evan and I'll do that. We'll stop over and just head back to the inn with them. Unless you need anything. If,
Well, the only thing I would need is a warning if Miss Fate is about to join us on the island.
okay.
Okay. So, you go your separate
Now we
way.
split the party.
Now you split the party. So,
Again,
group who is going back. So, Team Woods. Yeah, back at the workshop, nothing much really happens, but eventually, most of your friends reappear.
Really, it just looks like one of them to
Two,
them.
yeah.
Two of them.
No,
Yeah, but they can't see Bronwyn.
Kieran went with Agnes.
My
Yeah.
mistake. Okay, I thought it was just Agnes going. That's fine.
Nope.
So yes,
Kieran said he was
okay.
gonna help
Karen
Will.
said he's gonna
That's
go
fine.
and help me row the boat back.
Yep.
Okay.
so I don't sink on the way.
Rowing boats by yourself suck. Also, I didn't think it was the best idea to send the person who's never been on the water to row a boat by herself.
Look, witches float.
Well, theoretically, actually, Sebastian has done it multiple times by now.
Yes, but we're going
By
out to the
himself.
island and sending
Yeah.
Sebastian and Matthias away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
island back to shore after they've been sent.
Good point. Good point. So, Bronwyn and
Spirit's just struggle
Levi,
busting over here. Goodness.
you reunite with Grizel
All right.
and Sebastian.
Yeah, they don't see me, but
Oh, that's dang it. Okay, they go back to where you're supposed to be, and they're wondering where you are.
All they see is Sebastian.
yeah,
You just see Sebastian just moving barrels back and
Super
forth.
awkwardly moving barrels.
Didn't we just leave him with Agnes and Kieran?
We did.
I see them. I wave.
Hello, young man.
Does Sebastian have a twin brother?
I don't know. Are you Sebastian or his twin brother?
Clearly, when I talk, I'm not Sebastian because I can't mimic his voice. I say, no, it's Eric.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
well, that's
interesting.
an interesting trick.
Well, so, and then I relay the whole plan of teleporting them. So we need to go back to the inn, and I can maybe tell you more later specifics.
I stop being invisible, I guess, when I speak. Wait, where was Matthias then?
Well, he wasn't coming for the food.
No, he don't worry about it. Kieran and Agnes are going to take care of it. So we're going to head back to the inn. They will meet us there shortly after, and we can talk more when we are definitely alone.
Is it best to talk about it in the inn?
No.
No, but this is not a great place either.
Well, okay, so we're gonna meet them in the inn, then we're gonna go somewhere else and talk about it, right?
Well, I don't know. We're going to meet
Probably
Yeah.
gonna talk about where there aren't witch hunters. I'm assuming.
Possibly, but on the way back to the inn, if we, are in a secluded area, could maybe tell you, but not right here.
Fair enough.
You should probably not look like Sebastian either if we're going back to the inn. Because, can you stop that? It's weird.
I stopped I
Also,
know we're gonna look like Sebastian.
Where's Grizel?
No,
No,
she
Grizel's right. She's literally right next to you.
Also, out of curiosity, I really genuinely miss where Matthias is now. Like, is he still?
Matthias is on the island,
Oh, okay.
and that's why they have to go to the island to basically teleport them both far away.
Okay, I missed that part of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the boat was for. The boat was Sebastian basically, and him went to the island basically the night that
Yeah.
They- killed him.
Wait, Matthias.
The
hanging out
night
with-
they the night they killed Dario. Sebastian killed Dario.
Yeah, no, I got that part. I was just like,
Okay.
I completely missed where Matthias was in this whole story, and like, what is he?
Yeah,
still-
he's on the island.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they
So
were.
he was never coming for the food. Sebastian was gonna bring the food to him.
Okay. Yeah, I just assumed that they were like hiding out together, and it's like, no, that's
Same, but you know.
Exactly.
Mm.
But yes, I'm assuming talking stops being invisible.
You can talk and still be invisible. Breaking into a sprint would disrupt it.
Okay.
Violent action, which I interpret, the reason I say breaking into a sprint, I consider going into a sprint. I consider that a violent action. I do not consider firing a crossbow to be a violent action, because physics.
Raises a point of
Mhm.
since it's a potion, I can't willingly wear it off, right? unless I like.
If you flail your arms about like a
Okay.
Muppet,
Take it
it'll dispel it.
Whoa,
Take
I'm
it.
trying to turn a motion sensor
Just a
like
quick jog.
Yeah. So I assume I know this, and I shake it off. And
Okay.
I
Literally shake it off.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I literally shake it off.
You know, start saying shit.
Or
Good
get
to know,
attacked
because it's
by-
kind of like it's not like a concentration thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or just get in an altercation with a bead, a hanging bead doorway, you know?
Yeah.
Start like punch bagging some
Some beaded curtains.
yeah.
Just slap somebody in the face.
Mhm.
And
Levi probably deserves it.
Beaded
Probably.
curtains. Like what was that game we were playing where we had like a lot of beaded curtains?
That was the Warcraft game.
that was a Warcraft game with the beaded curtain.
the beaded curtain that defeated invisibility.
So I have a question. Can Bronwyn see her invisible?
I don't think it works that way, does it?
That's a good question.
Because what
That'd be really funny if she just like knew each other.
what if she goes invisible and then she could see her and they could both see each other?
Oh,
That'd be
Well,
awesome.
All invisible people can see each other. Those are the weird rules that-
no, absolutely not. That's not how that works.
That's not.
Here, if you have a spell that gives you like is like a bubble of invisibility, anyone within that bubble, sure, you can see each other. If two people independently have two different invisibility spells running, no, they can't see each other.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and do this, which is gonna potentially have knock-on effects later in the campaign. Ghosts don't see light. Light does not hit their eyeballs and hit into their retina, and that retina then sends a signal to a brain and turns it. Ghosts are seeing what is. So illusions and invisibility and things like that are likely not going to register with ghosts. They will see invisible people. Yes.
Okay. That makes
I think
sense.
that makes sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the other way around did not make sense.
Yeah, there's no reason for her to see
Yeah.
it.
we could
just keep pushing to see what you can get.
we could work on ghost sight unguents and potions and things like that, glasses, whatever. But
Cool
no,
spectral
invisibility.
glasses.
Yes, invisibility will not get you there.
Grizel, get to work on cool spectral glasses.
I'm getting to work right now.
That's what you need to do. Go back to the inn, build cool
I
spectral
feel
glasses.
like if you character that it would make more sense.
It's like googly eyes.
We don't really trust Levi's one-sided conversation.
Yeah, this is true.
But really, hearing is like the priority. No offense, Brendan, but hearing is like more priority.
fair.
That is a spell you can get.
I think
That is very low.
Hear ghost.
Yeah, hear and talk like hear.
Oh, yeah?
Hear talking. Yeah,
Okay.
Like a speak with dead kind.
yeah, like speak with dead kind of thing.
Oh, what type of spell is it? What list is it on?
I don't know. I was looking at a lot of necromancy spells, so
Oh,
Of course, the necromancy spells.
Like you do.
yeah,
Like you do.
because they're
aren't
channels.
those
Yeah,
evil spell lists?
yeah,
Yes.
they're evil.
And his mother was evil. so-
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
So
Evil.
No,
we don't know that, but I have a possible disposition to evil stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Who knows?
nurture over nature.
We've run quite a bit longer than I wanted to, and I thought about pressing on, but I think we can just pause right as we're sort of building up to the final sort of piece of this particular arc.
Sounds good.
So we can give it the proper air and space it deserves. So
Alright.
we'll go ahead and wrap things up, and we'll XP next time.
All right.
Totally.